Miles Sheldon Williams was a British author, and that is the totality of what I know about him. In 1906 he published The Power of Ula. Langley, the narrator, and his friend Bob, being unable to join the British Army, meet with the mysterious woman Ula, who invites them to dinner and tells them that, by the way, she is the rightful queen of a hidden South American kingdom of Incan Amazons called the Valdi. For some reason, everyone just accepts this without proof, and no one thinks she's just crazy. Then they swear to aid the rightful queen, and it turns out to be a fortunate error in phrasing on their part, as Ula is not being all that truthful about being the rightful queen. She is the daughter of a usurper priest-queen of a snake cult bent on human sacrifice, and wants to use Mauser rifles to topple the country. As they arrive in her man-o'-war yacht, Ula, after murdering several of her attendants as human sacrifices, secretly witnessed by Bob and Langley, Ula shows them how all the men in her country are mindless automatons controlled by the willpower of the women. After getting to the capital, they soon leave Ula and join the side of Balma, the rightful queen, and fight against Ula's brainwashed hordes using Balma's brainwashed hordes, slaughtering a goodly deal of the Valdi population in the process, until Ula, using a ring she placed on Langley's fingers, magically compels him to open the door and let her armies into the palace. The idea that this is a society of women is basically abandoned, and even during the fighting the author is careful to use gender-neutral terms. The fact these are women killing each other is only mentioned a handful of times. The prophesied liberation of the Valdi men, the thing Ula killed her attendants for mentioning to Bob and Langley, only happens 30 pages before the end of the book, after their previous subjugation had not been mentioned for almost 150 pages. And it happens via the sudden end of Ula, who is about to sacrifice Bob, Langley, Valma, and the captain of her guard, Tirana, but the idol of Artawen, the goddess of the snake cult, is randomly struck by lightning, and it frightens the snake Ula wears around her neck as a necklace to strangle her to death. None of the main cast have any part or agency in defeating Ula, and it is basically a happy accident. This moment had been foretold to the narrator in prophetic dreams 3 times, so you'd imagine someone would do something during it, but no. Then we get told how now men rule over all the Valdi, quote, as is natural, and to boot the queen replaces their worship of the sun with Christianity for no apparent reason. Just so the place ends up being no different from any other place. Wilhelm Philipp Rath was a German journalist and silent film director, publishing as Willy Rath. Not to be confused with Wilhelm Rath, born in 1897 in Berlin and focused on the 14th century German sect Friends of God. Willy Rath was born in 1872 in Wiesbaden, attending gymnasium in Wiesbaden and Montabaur, and studied law in Munich, Rome, and Lausanne. In 1918 he published The Blonde Sphinx, i.e. Die Blonde Sphinx. He died in 1940 in Berlin. A lot of these stories are so tongue-in-cheek it hurts. The Blonde Sphinx concerns a woman cheating on her husband because kissing him feels wrong, after she donated some of her own flesh to help reconstruct his busted nose, and tells him to go get his nose cut off to rectify that. The angel has an overbearing woman go to heaven and demand a new husband, but so pestering her new angel husband he strikes her down in divine wrath due to her never being satisfied. Luna or the Free Knights, probably the best story in the book, concerns a soldier declaring himself married to the moon and then being shot dead in a graveyard. Pan in the City has Pan being stuck in an asylum in a modern town to be examined and poked at by scientists, so he just gets up and decides to leave. 2 stories are bent on the fascination of capturing an aspect of a person such they can be experienced again and again. The Eternal Blue Fox, as concerns a movie actress that is dead, and The Voice concerning a gramophone recording of a man presumed dead during the war.